It's so good to see you today. So today I'm going to go through some facts binaurally, which means ear to ear, and hopefully it'll help you to sleep tonight. So my chosen topic for today is some comic book trivia. So I was given a desk diary with every single page being trivia from comic books, and it has 365 pages, but we will see how far we get through tonight. So this video is going to have some paper page flipping sounds, some crunchy, scrunchy sounds, plus probably some ripping sounds. And of course, some mouth sounds from left to right and right to left, with lots of tingly, 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 tingly breathing sounds in your ears. So, without further ado, let's start with our comic book trivia ASMR to help you fall asleep tonight. So, the first piece of trivia is entitled Significant Comic Book Issues. The death of Captain Marvel, November 1982. There's no surprise or twist in this graphic novel, which is larger than the usual comic, physically and narratively. Mar-Vell, the Kree hero who became a defender of Earth, spends his last days with friends before dying of cancer. This is one of the few superhero deaths that has never been undone due to the power and impact of the story. was the name of Jack Kirby's Stan Lee spoof that Kirby introduced at DC after leaving Marvel? Was it number 1, Stanley, 2, Glitzy Gasbag, 3, Funky Flashman, or 4, Neil No Talent? And the answer is, if you didn't know it already, Funky Flashman. I'm sorry, my nails are terrible. They need redoing. And I've got lipstick on them. My fingers too. This one is entitled Gadgets, Vehicles, Substances, etc. And I have terrible lipstick on my teeth. I'm so sorry. That should be that problem solved. The Helmet of Fate, worn by mystical hero Dr. Fate. The Helmet of Fate gives Dr. Fate his power when combined with the Amulet of Anubis and Cloak of Destiny. Naturally, in some stories, the helmet has granted its wearer enormous powers on its own. In all the stories, the Helmet of Fate is considered the most powerful magic in the DC universe. Magi, magic. Which Marvel characters were created first? I'm like a bloody vampire, I'm sorry. So the question again was, which Marvel characters were created first? The Submariner and the Human Torch, Captain America and Bucky, the Fantastic Four, or was it Nick Fury and the Howling Commandos? Tick tock, tick tock, tick in Marvel Comics #1, which came out in 1939. The next title, Important Comic Book Creators. Jack Kirby, 1917 to 1994. Who's the most important creator in the history of comic books? For many, it's Jack Kirby, who worked in comics for over 50 years, inventing classic characters, entire genres, and much of the visual vocabulary of comics and action stories in all genres. With Joey Simon, he co-created Captain America and the genre of action comics. With Stan Lee, he co-created the Fantastic Four, the Hulk, the X-Men, the Avengers, and Thor, my favourite, while contributing to the origins of Daredevil, Iron Man, another favourite, and Spider-Man. On his own, he created the mind-bending sci-fi mythology of DC's Fourth World characters and Marvel's Eternals. Plus, the creator owned Captain Victory. There will never be another Jack Kirby. Here is a quote for you by Danny Glover. I never liked Superman that much because I was like, yo, this dude can't die. It's too easy. Batman is pretty fly. He's a close second. Just because he doesn't really have powers, he's just a justice-driven vigilante. Spider-Man is the best because you just don't know who he is, and and he's funny, and he's poor. I understand Spider-Man a lot on that level. He's just trying to make it. Fantastic Four #1, November 1961. Kicking off the Marvel Age of Comics, Stan Lee and Jack Kirby instantly brought more depth and humanity to superheroes than had ever been seen at stodgy rival DC. The FF acted like a real family, with all the bickering and heartache that suggests. The groundwork for the Marvel Universe, and eventually the Marvel Cinematic Universe, was laid here by two masters. Here's a question for you. The lead character of Invincible is named after which hero? Peter Parker, Dick Grayson, Hal Jordan, or Alan Scott? And the answer, tick 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 tick, is Dick Grayson. The hero is named Mark Grayson. This one is called Gadgets, Vehicles, Substances, etc. Each page has a different title. So we've had one of these before. Captain America's Shield. The most successful patriotic superhero's trademark, round shield wasn't always so. In his first appearance, the shield was triangular, but the shape was soon changed due to similarities to an older patriotic hero named the Shield. Cap's shield is bouncy and strong thanks to the wonders of vibranium, which is only found in Wakanda. Wakanda, 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 Wakanda. such a lovely word, Wakanda. Wakanda. In the movies, the shield is made only of vibranium, but in the comics, there's also some adamantium. 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 The unbreakable substance also found in Wolverine's bones. What does the anti-life equation destroy? Now my guess would be life. Against life. Yeah. Okay, so is the answer life? Free will. The space-time continuum. 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 Or planets. And the answer is number 2. Free will, which could grant the fascist dark seed power over all. Dark side, dark side, dark seed. It's spelled like this. D-A-R-K-S. Sorry. E-I-D. Important comic book creators: Joe Shuster, 1914 to 1992. Shuster is one of the most important artists in the history of comic books, as the co-creator of Superman, along with writer Jerry Siegel. Superman's costume, based on that of circus strongmen, I never made that connection before, has been one of the identifiable and influential costumes in popular culture ever since. Superman's costume, based on that of circus strongmen, has been one of the identifiable and influential costumes in popular popular culture ever since. It's tragic that he and Seagull never received proper financial reward for his work, which continues to generate billions of dollars. Here's a quote for you. You're much stronger than you think you are. Trust me. Superman to a suicidal teen in All-Star Superman. Here is a significant comic book issue. Daredevil #1, April 1964. Written by Stan Lee and illustrated by Bill Everett. Daredevil was a different sort of hero from the start. A blind man with extraordinary senses, heightened by, what else? A radiation accident. Much like the X-Men, Daredevil didn't really take off till the 1980s. Just as Chris Claremont elevated Marvel's mutants, Frank Miller filled Matt Murdock's life with Catholic guilt, ninja ex-girlfriends, and a gritty noir vibe. I like a bit of noir. Daredevil also went on to become the star of an acclaimed Netflix series. Or like a bit of Netflix. Which of the following is a real character? Bozo, the Iron Man, Jim Bob, the Spider-Man, Lucky, the Hulk, or Arthur, the Captain of America? The answer is #1, Bozo, the Iron Man. Well before Tony Stark became Iron Man in 1963, this ludicrous character debuted in 1939. Gosh, and I thought that was a joke answer. Here's another gadgets, vehicles, substances, etc. The Trident of Neptune. This three-pronged weapon belongs to Aquaman, and it's more than just handy in a fight. It symbolises and grants power over Atlantis, specifically, and the seas generally. It's also indestructible, so stop making those Aquaman jokes. In which comic did the Punisher first appear? The Avengers, Detective Comics, Marvel 2-in-1, or The Amazing Spider-Man? answer is number 4, the Amazing Spider-Man. Punisher was originally a villain. A couple more for you now. I'm going to say this guy's name wrong every single time. Jerry Segal. 1914 to 1996. As co-creator of Superman with Joe Shuster, writer Jerry Segal is one of the founding fathers of superheroes, since Superman was the first. Segal and Shuster never received any financial reward in line with the real value of Superman, but since 1976 they have at least received credit as creators on all Superman media. Here's a quote for you. Wonder Woman in Wonder Woman number 200. What was it that John Lennon said? Love is the flower you've got to let grow. Let it grow already and quit trying to legislate it. Here's a comic book issue. The X-Men number 137, September 1980. Death in superhero comics has become a joke, but this issue was anything but. In the conclusion of the Dark Phoenix saga, Jean Grey commits suicide to prevent herself from becoming Dark Phoenix ever again. The nobility of this sacrifice was undercut by future resurrections, but nothing can take away the quality of this heartbreaking issue by Chris Claremont and John Byrne. Here's a question for you. Who wrote a poem that is crucial to Watchmen? Is it Percy Bysshe Shelley, William Wordsworth, Robert Frost, Frost, or Emily Dickinson? Do you know the answer? Yeah. Well, the answer is number 1, Percy Bysshe Shelley. The poem Ozymandias. Ozymandias. Lots of words I don't know how to pronounce here. Magneto's helmet. This red and purple helmet, possessed by the Malcolm X-ish master of magnetism, isn't just a swanky fashion choice. The helmet protects Magneto from telepathic attacks, which are a constant danger when he's tangling with the X-Men, who include Professor X and Jean Grey, two of the most powerful telepaths on Earth. A question. What major departure from the comics occurred on the Daredevil TV series? The Catholicism of Daredevil, the flirtation between Matt Murdock and Karen Page, the death of Ben Urich, or the grisly origin of the Kingpin? What's the answer? It is number 3, the death of Ben Urich, who, spoiler alert, was murdered by the Kingpin in the first season, despite being a constant in most Daredevil comics. Here's another comic book creator for you, Dave Cockrum, who lived from 1943 to 2006. Cockrum had a long career in comics for Marvel, DC and independent publishers, but he's best known for a strong run on The Uncanny X-Men when that was the hottest title in comics. Cockrum, along with writer Len Wein, co-created the new version of the X-Men, including Colossus, Storm and his personal favourite, Nightcrawler. Here's a quote from Batman to finish today. In The Dark Knight Returns, I want you to remember Clark in all the years to come, in your most private moments. I want you to remember my hand at your throat. I want you to remember the one man who beat you. Thank you very much for joining me for our comic book trivia session today. I'm going to do more of those for you soon, but I hope that you have a good night's sleep, and I will be back more